so. You so. Ted, you so. Yeah!
What's going on, guys? My name is Ted Carr, and today I want to answer a few questions about the raw food diet and lifestyle. These are some of the questions, these are some of the most common questions I get asked, and so I want to just read them off and answer them briefly here. If you guys want more in-depth answers, then wait on the 30-day raw food course I'm putting out in a few weeks. But for now, let's just jump into these questions and answers. First question, do I drink water? If I'm thirsty, I'll drink water, but I'm rarely thirsty because I'm usually drinking coconut water, and I'm usually eating oranges, melons, papayas, avocados, grapefruit and grapes and pears, peaches, plums, nectarines. I love sweet, juicy fruit, and even something like an avocado is like 80% water. So all the food I eat throughout the day is really loaded in water. I take probably 10 or 12 peas throughout the day. But having said that, I can hold my bladder for quite a bit. My bladder has adapted to hold a lot more water than most people. So I don't need to pee 12 times. I can pee like, 6 times a day if I really hold it in. But yeah, I don't need to drink much water because I'm constantly eating my water through my coconuts and fruits and some vegetables, like leafy greens. That's the next question. Why don't I eat vegetables? Why don't I eat so many vegetables? Why do I base my diet primarily on fruit? That's because fruit tastes better, it digests better, and it has way more calories. It actually fills me up. But really, it just digests so much better. Like vegetables like cauliflower and broccoli, cruciferous vegetables like that, they just don't digest that well. And you can do a simple test. You put some vegetables in your hands, try and rub it into your skin, it just doesn't rub in. You put some fruit in your hand, like avocado or papaya or banana or mango, and try and rub that in your skin, and it goes in instantly. Like, it's a clear sign it's going to digest well in your intestines. Our bodies can really only absorb and utilize what it can liquefy. So fruit really works well there. And vegetables, they're just not that high in vitamins, whereas fruit are way higher in vitamins. Vegetables are a lot higher in minerals, but humans, we don't need so many freaking minerals, man. We need more vitamins, and fruit provides that. So that's why I don't eat too many vegetables. The best vegetables to eat, though, would be something like spinach or baby spinach and lettuce and maybe like some other baby leafy tender greens for sure. Next question is, how much money do I spend in a week? Well, that totally varies. Like if you go to Japan, you're probably spending like $100 a day on just bananas. If you're going to Europe, you might spend $15 a day on fruit, on bananas and avocados and things. If you're in Canada and you're in the summertime, you can spend like $5 a day on like the best fruit ever, because you're just buying like really ripe nectarines and peaches. So it totally depends where you're living. This question is like saying, like, how much does it cost to start a company? Like, companies can cost freaking $1 billion to start, companies can cost $2 to start, a little lemonade stand. It all depends on what exactly you're eating, where you're eating it, and how much of it you're eating. But here in Thailand, you can get by $5, $10, $15 a day, no problem. If you want to live like an absolute king in luxury, $20, $25 a day for sure. But I know people here living $3 a day on just bananas. They're doing Mono Banana Island, spending $3 a day on fruit here. It's possible. Same with Hawaii. You can get really good deals on fruit if you buy bulk. You can get by $3 a day. Or if you want to live a bit more lavishly, $10, $15, $20 a day, that's a good bet. No problem. If I were to get a food allowance or something, I would give myself $15 a day and I could get by for sure. And coconuts, avocados, and bananas, for sure, man. So I guess that leads to the next question. What are the staple fruits? What are the fruits I eat every day? I eat avocados, bananas, coconuts, tomatoes, oranges, melons, almost every single day throughout the year in different parts of the world. A lot of papayas as well if I'm in Hawaii. But like the staples for sure, the two top staples would be bananas and avocados. And then when I was in Canada for those first 5 years of doing raw, I was eating a lot of dates. I suggest blending dates and rehydrating them first instead of eating them. Eating them gets all stuck to your teeth and you gotta floss and rinse your mouth quite a bit. So just blend your dates if you're gonna have dates as a staple food. Next question is, what are some of my favorite books to read when it comes to learning about the raw food diet? I would recommend a few books. You might not like them all, but you might get some benefit from each of them. First one is 80-10-10 Diet by Dr. Doug Graham. Next one is Nature's First Law by David Wolfe. Apparently he like ripped that book off someone else wrote it, but he like greatly popularized that book, Nature's First Law. Another one is probably my favorite, it definitely is my favorite, and that is Ann Osborne's book, Fruitarianism, Path to Paradise. That book is just amazing. So those three books are are just money when it comes to learning about the raw food diet and lifestyle. And then next question here is how much fat is too much fat? And do you follow 80-10-10? I do not follow 80-10-10, but I definitely did at the start, and I believe 80-10-10 is great for transitioning, it's great for detoxing, it's great for getting like a real good foundation happening for your health and lifestyle. And 80-10-10 basically stands for 80% carbs, 10% fat, 10% protein. So I followed that diet, that caloric ratio for a while. Worked well for me, helped me clear my acne, helped me lose a whole bunch of weight, helped me feel super duper healthy. And now after many years, I'm starting to do more weight training and less cardio, and I don't need to detox as much, I don't feel. So I'm eating way more avocados and coconut meat with no issue, Whereas before in the past, when I eat avocado, I would sense more body odor and I would sense some acne coming back. But now that I've detoxed, I don't have the acne coming back, I don't have the body odor coming back from eating some avocados. So I'll eat like 3 or 4 avocados a day, typically, maybe 5 or 6 coconut meats as well, with no issue. So that's how much fat I've been eating here in Thailand. But it might vary throughout the year. There might be some weeks where I have no fat, there might be some weeks where I have a lot more fat. But I can comfortably eat 3 to 4 avocados a day without issue, and I really enjoy doing so. Next question, are smoothies okay? Smoothies are great. I just think it's really easy to overeat on smoothies. It's really easy to gain weight on smoothies. So I think smoothies are great if you want to gain weight. They're also great if you're trying to like stay full, to stave off cooked food cravings. You want to fill up on the fruit instead of the cooked food. Then smoothies are a great way to pack in the calories. I'd recommend something like blending bananas, dates, and berries, or bananas, dates, and spinach, and just drink that. Really great smoothie, no problem. You can chop up some ginger, put that in as well, or some vanilla powder or carob powder. But keep your smoothies simple and try not to overeat on them, man. If you've got like a little bit of smoothie left in the bowl and you just want to finish it, or in the cup you just want to finish it, try not to do that. Try and like pour your smoothies into small cups so you have them throughout the day rather than having like a massive meal all at once. That way you won't overeat on them as easily. Next question is, how many times a day do I eat? Do I graze, or do I have 2 meals or 3 meals or just 1 meal? I've tried it all the ways. I've done it where I just had 1 big meal at nighttime. I've tried it where I just had 2 meals. I've tried it where I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My personal favorite has always been and still is just grazing, waking up, waiting an hour or 2, and then starting to graze throughout the day. So having little snacks throughout the day. Probably my biggest meal would be dinner time, but I feel it's most optimal to have the biggest meal at lunchtime. That way at dinner time you're not super heavy when you go to bed. So I like to graze. I'll probably eat maybe 5 or 6 times throughout the day, but I can just as easily have 1 or 2 meals a day. It's not like just because you eat fruit or just because you eat raw vegan you have to be constantly eating all the time. It's not like that at all. In fact, you adapt to not eating, you adapt to not feeling that hunger, because when you're eating fruit, after a fruit meal you don't feel really heavy and weighed down. You feel really like light and full of water. Really, it feels like you just drank a meal. So it's not like you're needing that heaviness anyway, like most people need when they're eating heavier foods. Next question is blood tests. Should I get a blood test to see if I'm deficient? You could get blood tested. There's no harm in getting blood tested, unless you're like afraid of blood and you might pass out or something. Then that's probably not healthy. But yeah, you could get blood tested, see what your levels are at. Just know that your levels are always changing. So if you are going to get blood tested, make sure you get blood tested again and again and again to make sure your levels are always stable. But if you're feeling fine, if you're feeling great, if you're feeling healthy, there's no reason to get blood tested. And just know that the mind is so powerful when it comes to raising and lowering your certain nutrient levels. People take placebo B12 and their B12 goes up. People take placebo iron and their iron levels go up. But it's just placebo. They're just taking like an empty pill and their levels are changing because they think that they're getting more B12. So if you just really believe in the food that you're eating, like certain people do already, certain people believe that the standard North American diet is the healthiest diet, those people are probably the healthiest people eating the standard North American diet, because they really believe, they're honestly convinced that the food they're eating is super healthy. And that is like, that's more important than the food you eat, man. The thoughts you think are more important than the food you eat. Never forget that. So whatever you're eating, make sure you fully believe in it. It's just that fruits and vegetables are so easy to believe that they're healthy, because they are, and that's what humans are designed to eat. And you go on Google Images, you type in healthy child, and you see these children eating fruit. It's just the most easiest thing to believe in. So that's why people eat fruits and vegetables, they get really healthy. But then after time, some of them maybe get convinced that, oh, maybe it's not the healthiest thing, and their thoughts start to change things for them. Then they go back to eating other foods, or they start getting unhealthy eating what they're eating. So your thoughts are more important than the food you eat. Definitely remember that. Next question, how many times a day do you take poops and pees? Like I said, I take pees maybe 6 to 12 times a day, and poops I'll take maybe 3 or 4 poops a day. It's not like I'm pooping all the time. It's normal, your body adapts. At the start though, it's probably a lot more often. I had to detox a bit. Last question here is, last question, where do you get protein? Protein comes in the form of amino acids, so I'm not getting like direct protein from plants, I'm getting amino acids from plants, which my body is then converting into protein, usable forms of protein. If I were to eat meat, then I would have to, eat the meat, and then my body would have to take that protein and convert it into amino acids, then uptake those amino acids and convert it into human protein. But when you're eating fruit, you're cutting out that middleman, you're cutting out that middle process, and you're going directly for the amino acids, which your body can then take and convert right into protein that's actually usable for the body. So that's a lot of answers right there for you guys. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, subscribe to fill your mind with positive, uplifting content on a regular basis. Peace out here from Chiang Mai, Thailand. Today's my last day, I think I already mentioned that, but I went out for a run this morning with some friends, and I did a 5K, sub 20-minute 5K, my first run in like first hard run in like 6 months or something, man. I'm like 20 pounds heavier and I still ran a sub 20, so I'm really happy with that. But yeah, that's what the body can do when you're living in line with nature's design. Peace out. Yeah, that was cool. We got it. Again?
Yeah. Oh, good.
No!
That was difficult for you.